The odds of an interest rate cut in July just absolutely tanked. Now, the SPY is selling off today, down about 0.5%, and that is not the reason, obviously. People are saying that that's the reason, that's what everyone's talking about. But notice how the VIX is also down today. It has not had a huge spike. This is because of OPEX today. The quad witching day causing a lot of volatility in the market, a lot of options expiring all at once. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about, specifically with fails to deliver, GameStop, GMEU, and what is going to happen going forward and how it perfectly fits into what we predicted. So watch until the end of the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to hit that notification bell, guys, if you don't have it on already. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. SPY 595 down 0.4% on the day. Yesterday we talked about a beautiful technical breakdown, and now we broke below another key technical level, as I believe the SPY is to continue to drop, but it is going to be a choppy sell-off, and ultimately watch 593.10, 591, and then ultimately 585 for this retracement zone. I would prefer SPY to come down into 585 to 580 before moving higher at minimum. Okay, so that is the level that we're watching. Keep an eye on the VIX, possibly some things over the weekend that might occur with war escalation and other factors along the lines of that. Now let's talk about GameStop. Real quick, before we talk about GameStop, 4.2 trillion index options expire today, 710 billion ETF options, 700 billion future options, and 905 billion single stock options. And that is not covering crypto as well. Okay, GameStop, GMEU, what are we talking about here? We are talking about fails to deliver. The other day, I gave you what I expect to happen on GameStop, 23.33 today, down 0.4%, basically trading with the SPY. We did call out a break beneath this channel right here, which is playing out and is happening, as well as getting a retest of this channel. Is GameStop going to go lower? In my opinion, yes, that is something that I expect. When? Possibly bottoming Monday is what I would be looking for, but we could see a bottom today on Friday as this OPEX is playing out. A lot of options expiring today. After that, leading into June 26th, we should see 27 plus, right? But following that, the important week is the first and second week of July. Now, this also lines up with failure to deliver closeout period. Why are we randomly bringing this up? Well, not because of the Kia ad. Well, because Reg SHO, GMEU is on the Reg SHO list, meaning it has had fails to deliver for 5 consecutive settlement days. Now, this is on the Reg SHO threshold list. We've covered this time and time again. Why this is significant is because they now have a 13-day closeout period, which I believe is from the T plus 35 original period of the closeout of the fail to deliver. Quote me on that, correct me on that if I'm wrong, but don't quote me. Here's why it lines up. Well, we have had fails to deliver. You can see massive amounts for the end of May from the 22nd to the 28th. And to put this into deeper detail, this is what we're looking at. GameStop as well, huge amount of FTDs on May 29th. And you can see right here on this chart, as we spike down, lots of fails to deliver. So what are we looking at here? Well, GameStop saw a massive spike of FTDs on May 29th, or GMEU saw a massive spike of FTDs on May 29th, along with GameStop that we saw of almost 400,000 FTDs on the single day with 15.9 million in volume at 29.57. And then other large amounts of fails to delivers May 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And we have 12.3 million in undelivered notional value on May 29th alone, which is not small. You look at GameStop FTDs, we have had very similar pressure, if not matching pressure, if not exceeding pressure on fails to deliver for that May 29th date. And they're also stacking on several dates, the 16th, 21st, 23rd. If you guys want to see these, it's over on Chart Exchange. Now, we have SEC Rule 204, which cover basically closeout deadlines. You have a T plus 35, which starts hitting between June 25th, as well as July 3rd. Now, if we bring that and we look on the charts, June 25th is this Wednesday, which I anticipated this to happen, where we would come up to 25 plus, somewhere in that range. These price targets don't have to be exact. We could be going much higher. We could be, somewhat maybe a little lower, maybe hugging the lower end of this ascending trend line right here, using it as resistance. We move on. This starts sitting between June 25th, July 3rd. So let's look at July 3rd. Well, it just so happens that it lines up with exactly the time frame I expect us to catapult higher. Thursday, July 3rd right here. Okay. And then markets are closed that Friday. So we could see the real moves happening the week of July 7th. Now, what's interesting about this, let's go back. June 25th to July 3rd, wave of mandatory closeout hits, but GMEU went on Reg SHO. Market participants with open FTDs must close out positions with 13 settlement days. Now, before I cover the end of that portion, assuming that the closeout period is from the date it goes on Reg SHO, so today, okay, and they have 13 settlement days, this is where it gets interesting. That leads you right over to here, which is right here where we expect a major move higher. So the first week of June is very, very important. It's almost mandatory closeout. But what I want to state is if it's not there and the closeout, which this is what I believe, and the closeout is on top of the T plus 35 settlement date, here's what you would see. Market participants with open FTDs must close out positions with within 13 settlement days, so July 16th or so. Now, one big reason for this post is because it lines up with the charts. Secondly, the data's here. GMEU just went on the Reg SHO, and we've been eyeing FTDs. Thirdly, it's to save some hope for the July 18th call holders. GMEU is a 2x leverage GameStop product. So any shares that must be bought into GMEU will likely require underlying GameStop share purchasing or synthetic unwinds. So buying on GMEU equals buying pressure on GameStop. Now, closing out GMEU FTDs might indirectly squeeze GameStop. And it's actually to the degree where market makers, market participants might have to buy two shares of GameStop per share of GMEU as they close out on top of the FTDs GameStop already has on here. It's a complicated system. But ultimately, Lottery Stocks, what's the plan? Well, I've alerted Discord my strategy and plan here. It's between today and Monday, accumulate shares and calls, and then sell on volatility spikes, take some profits as we lead into the first week of July, hoping we see one of those major moves for the July 18th expired calls that are down heavily. Now, you might ask, well, if GameStop pumps to $40 or $60 on July 11th, we'll say, a random date between the cycle, will I still make money? Yes. Theta is strongly against you now if you have July 18th expiration alongside myself after not selling on this run up to $37, which I was in a deep rabbit hole last night as to why that occurred. That conversion price right around $38.80. It was very interesting. Long story short, the closer you get to the conversion, the more they're going to hedge short and basically drastically increase short positions. So we were getting up to that 38.81 level, and they drastically increase shorts. Anyway, that's for a whole nother video. But yeah, so this is what I'm expecting. And yes, you will still make money on these contracts, even though Theta is heavily against you. This is a major, major move that is not priced into your contracts. I mean, that's about 100% move to, depending on if we, hit that 244% move, depending on if we hit that 80 price target or higher, depending on when this happens, right? So I just wanted to cover that. Also keep an eye on GMEU. Again, ETFs are a harder squeeze situation. I'll just put that out there. And also, even if you bought the ETF, it all wraps back into GameStop. it's an interesting loop that they've created, and they've clearly created GMEU to try and cause some fuckery to happen behind the scenes because it's barely been trading for a month and it's on the threshold list. As far as AMC goes, so far so good playing out. I'm still expecting a big drop over the next few days, but again, they're likely to move together. I just believe before July 3rd, July 7th, that Thursday to that Monday, where I expect GameStop to start squeezing higher. Until then, I expect AMC to see some downward pressure. Cost is up about 7%. This is a basket tied with GameStop, I believe. Now, this is important because maybe they begin to close out GameStop sooner, right? And we see that rally sooner into, instead of the July 3rd, the June 25th window, and they start closing out sooner. Cost is basically giving us what I think is a possible heads up, like, hey, things are about to get interesting. Now, this could just be the beginning. It did get rejected at resistance right here. So just keep an eye on costs as well. I told you to keep an eye on GNS. It's now up 20% as several brokers took the buy button away as they are fighting in a lawsuit against naked short selling, as well as Quantum QNTM. Gave this one to Discord 22 days ago. Now, if we take a look, 22 days ago from today, brings you about here, up total of 255% since then. If you're not in the Discord, make sure to join. Oscar OSCR up 18%. Everyone was talking about this yesterday, and believe it or not, I actually assume this one has more room to run, so just keep it on your radar. Again, extremely high risk, high reward. Keep an eye on HIMS as well, is something that I've been watching and covering. We really need to see if it's going to break out into new territory heights here. It's in a sell block as of right now, right at 64.25. So watch this level. If we break above this, you still need to watch 67.40, and then obviously all-time highs right around 73. But again, HIM still has an insanely high short interest, and it could be squeezing shorts right out of their positions and bringing us to 103 if that does occur. Again, this is what I got for you guys for today's video. Make sure to press the top link to join my Discord server. You guys will not regret it. We talk stocks and crypto in there all day long. Best vibes, best people. I post my trades. We have tons of alerts in there that AI bots pop off to basically help you scan the entire market. It's a one-stop shop. Get a funded futures account, half off using code LOTTO at checkout. This is what the platform looks like. I've been trading over on here. It's been a fun experience. Mumu, 60 free stocks, custom indicator right here if you don't have it. Tip jar if you want me to cover a ticker or something along the lines of that. And then this is basically the best fundamental research tool, in my opinion, if you're a fundamental investor long term and you want to see what's going on in depths with a company. Use that link. Second channel, haven't posted yet. Got some things coming up. It's been rough to do things on my own. Yeah, and I have teams that reach out, but it's kind of a issue that I got where I need to have everything edited on my own to make sure it's the way I want it. But that is it, guys. I love you all. God bless. Yeah, enjoy the weekend. Get in the Discord. Let's chat. Lottery Stocks out.